I am Sam. Sam, I am. Do you like Henry and Sam? I do not like them, Sam, I am. I do not like Henry and Sam. Henry and Sam's story gets expanded upon, but ultimately nails the necessary story beats in episode 5 of HBO's The Last of Us. The familial themes from the last episode continue into this episode, which explores Henry and Sam's bond with each other and how they somewhat mirror Joel and Ellie. Sam is deaf in the TV adaptation, but that doesn't stop him and Ellie from getting along seamlessly. Ellie's immunity means she is surrounded by constant death and isn't allowed to partake, which makes her increasingly lonely. Sam is the only other young kid we've seen alive in the apocalypse so far, and Ellie's childish nature blossoms immediately. Henry even mentions how he hasn't seen Sam smile in a long time. This episode shines a light on the children of this world just as much as it shines down on Henry and Sam's story. Another iconic character from The Last of Us has his story briefly displayed, and that's Ish's story. Joel, Henry, Ellie, and Sam's desperate escape from the city takes them through the maintenance tunnels, where they uncover a makeshift home for Ish and his group of survivors. The walls are painted with children's drawings with an outline of a soccer goal against the wall. It's a sliver of hope that there's still some humanity left in this world. A quiet community was made underneath the so-called rebellious hellhole that humans have created on the surface. A place where doctors are murdered and vengeful witch hunts are formulated over quality of life. While inside Ish's hideout, Henry confesses to Joel that he feels no different than the murderous rebels above them because he is responsible for killing Kathleen's brother. The show takes someone who walks and talks like a soccer mom and turns them into a bloodthirsty fearmonger. Kathleen's hatred plays into the story's exploration into what we are willing to do for love, while also poetically foreshadowing the future of the entire series. Henry explains to Joel that he aided in her brother's death to save his own brother, but refuses to let that clear him of his guilty conscience. Henry expects the world to see him as a monster, but Joel doesn't bat an eye. Joel doesn't see the bad in what he did. He only sees someone who successfully protected the one he loves most. What separates the two characters is that if Joel was put in Henry's shoes, he wouldn't feel any guilt. Ish and the community he protected are long gone, and Joel and Henry are looking to do the same as they leave the maintenance tunnels and are immediately pinned down by sniper fire. Despite how faithful of an adaptation the show has been so far, I expected the sniper sequence to be left on the cutting room floor. So it was a pleasant surprise to see this tense gameplay scenario dramatized for television. It was an even greater surprise hearing the spine-chilling cover-blown sound effect that is expertly designed for the game used here. Massive props to HBO for dedicating themselves this hard to pinpoint accuracy. Luckily, the sniper didn't have pinpoint accuracy, because Joel successfully sneaks up on him and takes him out, now turning that sniper towards Kathleen's crew as they pull up. However, those sniper bullets are actually reserved for the infected, as we get to see a spectacular blowout of an action sequence between our protagonists, Kathleen's rebels, and the infected. Ellie is chased down by a nimble little infected gymnast girl that one can sadly assume was one of the kids from Ish's community. Joel shoots down as many zombies as he can and successfully protects Ellie, Sam, and Henry. But Kathleen catches up to them, stopping at nothing to get her revenge on Henry. But instead, she reaches her own demise. Not by Henry, not by Joel, but by the nimble little infected gymnast girl. The young, whose childhood was cut short by this sick world, who was supposed to be its future, is the one to take her life. The infected were bubbling under the surface of Kansas City the entire time, but Kathleen prioritized personal revenge instead. It's now time for the tragedy of Henry and Sam to come full circle. Sam has been bitten, but unlike the game, he doesn't hide the bite from everyone. Instead, he tells Ellie, who tries to comfort him, and use her immune blood to save his life. Ellie shares her own guilt for being the only one in this world who's immune to the infected, and this guilt and loneliness motivate her to help others. She promises to stay up all night with him, but she passes out before morning. She wakes up to Sam's life taken over by the cordyceps, and his infected body pounces onto Ellie, eager for a bite. Joel tries to save her, but Henry shoots at his feet to stop him from killing his brother. In a fit of panic, Henry shoots Sam himself, before pointing the gun back at Joel. Henry's panic, confusion, and guilt consume him. Bad things were done in the pursuit of saving Sam's life, all for Sam to be taken from him anyway. Henry's failure carries him to his grave as he points the gun back at himself and pulls the trigger. What is shown shocks audiences to their core. The camera hangs on Ellie's reaction to this as she cries out, watching Henry's body drop to the floor. Henry is dead. Joel is already trying to clean up the mess. Ellie is speechless. The camera does not flinch. The innocence of childhood is completely sucked out of the world by the end of this episode, leaving all of our characters trapped in a hopeless, emotional vacuum. This episode heartbreakingly succeeds at enriching the world with another somber story of survival for Joel and Ellie, who feel they have nothing left but to endure and survive.
Let's throw it.
Yeah.
Boosh! I am a natural.
Luck.
No, it wasn't.
That was luck.
All right, get out of here. You're getting cocky.